Hello. Hello, friends. Myself, Sagar Rao, and I'm here today to discuss on a very different topic. A topic which we generally don't want to comment about, a topic on which we generally don't want to discuss about. Some people say we are not even interested in this particular topic. But my way of, or the reason why I'm taking the topic because I meet a lot of people every now and then, being in practice, being a trainer, and the feedback which I get from people is that they have got all sort of wrong information about the religion to which they belong. And many people who don't even belong to Hinduism, they still have got a lot of misconception being spread by the people who don't have the actual understanding of the religion. And the whole thought process behind starting this series, I mean, I'll have around 7 to 8 videos coming on this particular topic, is to work or to serve as a myth buster, to create an awareness, to promote in people the actual ideology, the actual concepts, which are the framework, which are the base for this dynamic religion. And I won't even say religion, that's a wrong word to use when you address Hinduism. The dynamic belief system that have attracted people throughout the decades, throughout millennium, I should say. Yeah, because the roots of Hinduism are considered to be going, I mean, very, very backdated. So some people feel that Hinduism or the Hindu theology is in existence for around 8,000 plus years. That's really great. Though there's a debate on it, the Western scholars disagree. Some say it's 4,000 years old. Some people say the thought process is 5,000 old, or some challenge that Vedas are only 3,000 years old, or some say it is only 1,500 years old. But my whole concept is, why to discuss about how old they are? Why not connect it with the modern concept and say, though these are old, they are much, much more modern. They are much, much more evolved and much better formed, and much better version of the thought process that can be implemented even in the current time. And if you look at the core theology of Hinduism, you'll find that over the period of time, the science is going to agree on the same concepts that have been discussed. And a very simple example is the experiment which was recently held, the God particle example. Or, I mean, the experiment. We are trying to find out the core element, the core components which have led the foundation of the whole civilization on this earth, the starting of or the living beings on this particular earth. And what if I tell you the core ideology of the Hinduism belongs, or I mean, is based on this particular concept. And this is expressed in the word which is written at the end of the first slide that I'm going to talk about. So let's start. Okay, so Mythbusters session one. As I said, I'll be having a series of sessions coming up. This is a word I was talking about, Aham Brahmasmi. Now, if you ask me what exactly this word means, I can say only one word about it. It means that everything on this earth is created by the same matter, and the same matter is being addressed as Brahma as per the Hindu theology. The problem is, we people don't look at the Upanishads, we don't look at the Vedas. If we ask Hindus like what exactly is Vedas and Upanishad, they'll say, oh, it's a religious text which have a hell lot of details, a lot of information. Some even say that whatever is there in the world is in Vedas, and if something is not in Vedas, it do not exist in the world. But if you ask them what exactly is the core content, what exactly is the basis of the thought process or the belief system, no one will be in a position to answer. Because what have happened over a period of time is we have ran away from the basic belief system, and we have adopted to a totally different culture which was never meant to be called as our own when it comes to Hinduism. So this one statement, I guess, summarizes the whole concept or the logic behind the religion. And this is something that attracts a lot of people. But what is Aham Brahmasmi? What exactly does the word mean? I mean, this is something that I'll be discussing with you as we move ahead, but as of now, just to give you a small hint, the term simply says that no one is different. We all are same. We are created by one same matter. Everything on this earth, whether it is living, non-living, so whether it is element, whether it is plants, whether it is animals, whether it is human being, we all are made of one basic component, the one thing which is the only reality, and that is what we are. And that is Aham Brahmasmi, that is I am Brahman, I am the unlimited ultimate power. um, it has a scientific basis. So we say energy can never be created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed from one form to another. And the same logic applies here. So if you look at the food chain, at the lower level, we have the grass, trees, etc. The trees are consumed by herbivores, herbivores are consumed by carnivores, and therefore the energy is getting transmitted from one form to another, even in our living beings. And that's the same logic. So when the person dies, again, he gives rise to another component. I mean, maybe when I die, but many of my components might give rise to another living being or support another living being. And that's how the continuous circle of life goes on. And therefore, it won't be wrong to say that we all are made up of one same matter. And slowly, scientists are trying to reach that same conclusion. And you'll find it happening over a period of time. I'm confident about that. Okay, so let's start. So the first myth, Hinduism as a religion. You'll say, what is a myth here? I mean, it's a religion. It's a well-established religion. It's not a religion as per me. I mean, you might think it's a religion, but I have a lot of points to counter the belief system to be labeled as a religion. Though the Court of India itself, the Supreme Court, has itself said, and many people believe that we are not talking about religion here. Hinduism is a belief system, and I do agree with them, but I have my own points to present on this particular issue. The first one, dharma. So in Hindi, religion, or in Sanskrit, the religion is referred or called or by the word dharma. I mean, the translation is dharma. So if I ask you, what is the opposite of dharma? Anyone who understands Sanskrit or Hindi say adharma. Now let me put it this way. What's the opposite of religion? You say we don't have answer. So if dharma has an opposite that is adharma, and if religion do not have any opposite, how can you say or equate this term dharma with religion? So dharma has nothing to do with religion. And that's one point which I have to put ahead. And that proves my point that Hinduism was never meant to be treated as a religion. It's a belief system which provides some guidelines on how a good human being should be and how he should behave, what he should do is what we capture by that term dharma here. No prophet. So there's no concept of prophet here in Hinduism, or there's no concept of supreme God. So different people follow different religious principles. They have their own way of worshipping the God. They have their own way of praying. They have their own way of own way of revering the gods. They have the different hymns. They have the different way in which they perform the rituals. So everything is different. And the God, I mean, there's no concept of one supreme God being worshipped. So people have different gods to whom they worship. Now, again, this point also I'll be countering when I move ahead. But as of now, one thing to say is, so there's no one God being revered to or prayed, to whom we pray. So therefore, that also negates the concept that Hinduism should be treated as a religion. And last one, there's no uniformity of practice, and there are distinct belief systems that we have. So every part of India, or even you can say every creed or every sect, there are different sects, there are different creeds who have their own way of referring to the God or praying to the God. And that's what is another point that proves that it's a belief system, and it's open belief system where people have been given the scope to look at God from their own perspective, to pray God as per their wish. No one is compelling you to even pray. I mean, we also have that belief system accepted as a part of Hinduism. And how can you have all these three factors contributing towards a religion? So these 3 points which I'm putting ahead are automatically negating the fact that Hinduism is a religion. Monotheistic or polytheistic. So some people say there are 33 crore gods whom the Hindus revere. Some say no, there won't be so much, but at least a lack of gods. Some just say no, hundreds. But what if I tell you that if you look at the Veds, if you look at the Upanishads, which are the basis of our religious structure, you will come to a conclusion that Hinduism was never meant to be a polytheistic religion. That is, where we don't have the concept of multiple gods. Hinduism, in a nutshell, can be treated as a monotheistic religion. Now, why monotheistic religion? Because if we look at the Vedic hymns, so I'll try to highlight the pointers here. So if we look at this particular principle, just a moment, yep. So if we look at the particular concept here, the Vedic hymns. So if you look at the Rig Vedas or the Samhitas or the hymns which are coming from even Yajurvedas, you'll try to come to a conclusion that though in Vedas we are referring to multiple gods, the way the prayer have been addressed helps us to come to a conclusion that though we are identifying multiple different personalities and we are praying different personalities, they are indirectly referred to be one same supreme authority. So what we are trying to say here is the concept is not polytheism. Max Muller has referred, the great Max Muller, I should say, has referred to Hinduism being, somewhere, between this particular concept. He says that we have the concept where a same God, a same supreme power has been referred to in different form in different hymns. So we are referring to one God, but in his different forms in which he is providing what you can say his grace or referring or providing people with different kind of support. So we will be praying to sun as a god, moon as a god, will be praying to rain as a god, but all these are the different forms, these gods, so Varun Dev, Agni Dev, Surya Dev. So what we are referring to here are the same or are the manifestations of the same God which we are referring to, that is the same supreme power which we are referring to. So Max Muller says this is a concept of henotheism, where we identify one supreme head, but we pray to multiple gods. So henotheism will be the best way to cater to the religious structure that we have in Hinduism. And Vedic hymns have been worded in such a form that the base comes out, the base comes out to be monotheism and not polytheism. Upanishads. So if you look at the Upanishads, they also have got a base where they are talking about monotheism and not about polytheism. So there are various chapters and various Upanishads that we have. So I won't be going into details of those, but I'll try to highlight two aspects of it. So there's a wonderful story given for a learned person, that is Shwetaketu. Now, Shwetaketu goes to his Gurukul, gains knowledge. He comes back home, and while he's sitting with his father, his father asks him, "What happened?" And he is full of pride, full of confidence, and says, "Nothing." And his father says, "Do you feel you know everything on this earth?" And Shwetaketu is like, "Yeah, I've worked hard. I was in Gurukul for so many years, and now I know in and out about religion, in and out about existence, and everything which is there on the earth." And then his father asks him, "Do you know who you are? Do you know what is your existence? Or do you know something which, when you know, you don't need to know anything else?" And on this, Shwetaketu is spellbound. He says, "Oh no, I am not aware of any such kind of knowledge." And then his father explains him the concept, which is very well explained in the rituals as Tattvamasi, and we'll again talk about Aham Brahmasmi. So it tells him that as all the rivers flow and then they meet one end, that is the ocean, in the same way, all the living beings are arising from the same power. And over a period of time, we are going to join that same source, that same origin. That is what we say is Brahman, and that is what you are. That is what everyone is. You are the sun, you are the tree, trees are you, and in short, we all are made of one and single component. We all are one and connected with that one origin which is common to everyone. And if we talk about one common origin, how can we even talk about the religion being polytheistic? So the idea is all that we have one basic power, a one superpower to whom we are referring to, and that supreme is what is the actual reality of this earth. Yajnavalkya episode is also the same. So Yajnavalkya is a learned, a very confident rishi, or you can say at that point of time, a intellectual person. Now this guy is also linked to various episodes which happen in Ramayana also. So he is a wonderful, a very talented person. And if you look at the concepts which he has put forward, even uh, the intellectuals at our level in our 21st century will feel ashamed looking at the concepts which he has put forward. He was well beyond time. And if you look at his idea of religion, his idea of how the existence of human being, you'll be spellbound. He says that we all have the same existence. We all have the same unique existence, and we all come from one same source, and that's what we are, that's what everyone is. And hence, if that's the case, there's no need to worship anyone. And that is the whole concept of Aham Brahmasmi. So the Aham Brahmasmi means that I am the supreme infinite power. And Yajnavalkya has very well captured this concept. And this is what is the base of our religion, which says that everyone is equal, everyone is created from the same original power. Everyone has that unit in him coming from that supreme lordship, and you are yourself a supreme power. And if I am the supreme power, why is a need for me to worship anyone? And even if we look at the Vedic structure, there are many instances where the god itself themselves says that, why are you praying us? There's someone even more powerful than us, and we have to pray him. So we should pray him, or we have no power in front of him, or we are nothing in front of him. That supreme lordship is a reality, and you need to worship only that reality. And therefore, if we sum all this together, we come to a conclusion that the idea of Hinduism was never meant to be uh, to be as a polytheistic religion. We are referring to a monotheistic religion structure. And some people say that even that is not a case. We are talking about a concept of monoism, that we everyone are coming from the same original source. We are made up of one same supreme power that exists in everyone. And that is the whole idea of monoism, that everyone, every living being is the same. And this is what really makes difference, because generally when we talk about Hinduism, we talk about rituals, we talk about prayers, we talk about we worshipping someone, we talk about the different rituals being followed, but we never go down to the depth to understand the actual basis of the religion. And this is what really makes sense, because if I have a religion which says, or if I have a religious text, the highly revered religious text saying that we all are made of one powerful supreme power which is existing in every one of us, then why should we create a distinction? Why should we fight with each other? And this is what I feel makes a real difference, and this is what makes the ideology of Hinduism beyond imagination and the most modern concepts which we can consider. So hope whatever I tried to convey, it was easygoing. You enjoyed understanding the concept, and maybe I tried to put it in a different form. Maybe I was biased, or then I tried to put the fact, but this is my idea of Hinduism. You can have your own idea of Hinduism. So let me know if you feel something more can be added to my presentation, or if I was wrong somewhere, because I'm not having this background. I am a finance guy, I'm a chartered accountant. So I've tried to attain knowledge as much as I can, but yeah, things might have gone wrong somewhere, so I won't guarantee that everything that I said is correct. But to the extent what I feel, I have not missed on, or I have not tried to put in something for which I don't have any base. So hope you all enjoyed the session, and see you soon with my next presentation. Thanks a lot.